my finger went through the hole.
What?
I went to like pound like this like.
Okay, for anyone you can't even see it on the live. Basically, there's like this hole in the audio desk for wires to go through, and Andy just put his finger in it.
Point at the desk like a news director or editor, like I need pictures of Spider-Man.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast.
Season 4.
Season 4. We are so back. As always, I'm your co-host, Daniel Keene. Joined alongside me is Mr. Andy Newman. Andy, great to be back.
Oh, we are back. It's been a long time coming. I haven't been in the studio podcast. Okay, I've been in here, but I haven't been with you talking words about sports in a brief second. Obviously, the fans really, really want us to be back as Mr. Keene himself.
It's mainly my father. Shout out, Dad. Yeah, I was talking to him last night, and he was and I sasaid something like, oh, I got to record the podcast tomorrow, and he was like, oh, so excited. I think his exact words were.
What were his exact words? Because those were.
Oh,
cool.
Wait, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. It was great. It made
was
me
good.
It made my heart so happy.
I think like we are like just such a big part of his life and daily routine.
Well, he says he listens to it on the way to and from work, and he parcels it out so that he can get.
Do we need to start making segments just for your dad?
Oh my gosh, what's Dad thinking about on the drive? We should call him sometime.
What's Dad thinking about on the drive?
Okay, so he said I'm missing the Knuckleheads, and I said we're recording tomorrow. Got off to a slow start this year, and he said, oh, period, thank period, God period. You know he's ready for it. It's been a summer, and it's been the first couple weeks of the school year. How was your summer, Andy?
Pretty good. This is the first time we didn't do any episodes over the summer, so people have been haven't anything to hold
truly
themselves over.
Deprived of our amazing talent,
of our content here. No, it was a good summer. Enjoyed myself a lot. I actually worked for a news station over the summer. I think I talked about that a little bit towards the end of the last episode. I think I knew by that point. It was an awesome experience. Got to literally just be a news reporter for the whole summer. It was something that I never really expected to be able to do, but was on my local TV. People knew who I was. It was pretty neat, and I appreciated their confidence in me and my skills, and I just enjoyed the whole experience over there at 21. So shout out Station 21 or Station 21, 21 Alive News, WPTA. There we go. No, it was a good time, good summer. Enjoyed myself a whole lot more than I thought I probably would have.
Yeah, my summer was pretty good too. No internship. Well, I did the same internship I did last summer at that residential camp.
Could you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, basically it was just it's an academic enrichment camp, and it's like a residential, so they're there Monday through Friday. So I did a little bit of residential work there, and I also dabbled in a little bit of teaching. I helped publish the newspaper, which all the high school students worked on. Yeah, obviously you can't go somewhere.
Why would Keene not do that?
Yeah, why would I not do that? But it was a good summer. I also used it as like a nice time to take a couple steps back, do a lot. I started working out more. That was a big thing this summer for me.
Tell the Knucklehead Nation. Sure.
What?
What you did just a couple weeks ago?
Or
a week ago.
For the last since junior year of high school, every summer I always say in June I'm like, I think I could do a triathlon. Well, this summer I was like, we're done thinking. I literally was like, I put it on the calendar, and last weekend, was it really just last weekend?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're recording this on a Monday, so the weekend before.
Okay.
I did a triathlon, and it was super fun. It was really awesome. I'm definitely going to be doing one again, but I'm already training for another race. I'm doing a 10-miler at the beginning of October.
Whoa.
Shout out Dad, actually, because I'm running that with my dad and my older sister,
Michigan?
Carolyn. No, it's actually in D.C., so it's the Army 10-miler. So Kara was going out for it, and then my mom and dad were going to go out for it, and my mom and dad are going out for it, but my mom was going to run it, and then my mom was like, hey, just take my registration. So I'm running under Ann Keene. Ann Keene will be.
Ann Keene?
Yeah, I will not be running a 10-miler. Ann Keene will be running a 10-miler.
Some of the words in that name are similar to yours.
Yeah.
Or letters, sorry.
The last couple, for sure.
Ann. Ann is in Dan.
Yeah, Ann is in Dan,
yeah.
and Keene is in Keene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's close enough. Your name could be Ann.
Yeah, but it was a good summer. It was a good summer. I'm so thoroughly excited to be back, though.
Yeah. Of course.
We really dove headfirst into the year, but we're ironing out everything right now. And
we've got people waiting to get in on the chair there.
We have requests. How many requests do we have?
Many.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of freshmen though.
Oh, well, hey, they got to prove themselves.
That's true.
They really don't.
Nope. They can do whatever.
You know who we
want,
really have to get back in the chair? Caleb Zuver. I love a conversation with Caleb Zuver.
Zoobs is a pleasure to work with, per usual.
In our last episode, we need to
shout out Indiana Drive with Caleb Zuver.
Indiana Drive with Caleb Zuver. Also, shout out Caleb Zuver's dad. I don't know if you see him posting his dad.
Mo.
Dude, Mo,
I love Mo.
My favorite guy.
Mo.
Him going to a Colts game as like a giddy little kid is just my favorite thing.
Dude,
brings the stuffed animal best friends. Like
you saw that on his story?
That is like a style of sports fandom that I adore.
The gloves, the fact that he has like gloves is the best part of it. Yeah, I don't know. I've said this like a couple times in the past day. I have never had an extended long period interaction with Mo Zuver. I've had interactions like brief.
I think
but I haven't had a long.
Was he
talk.
at the Dean's List thing last year?
Again, it was in brief passing.
If he was, I think I said hi to him, but that's like my only one.
It, yeah.
Every other time I see him through social media, and he's just this character, and I love it.
Dude, you wanna move the look of the thing? Yeah, all of our one viewer.
Yeah, all of our one viewer. What's
Yeah.
that? Oh, whoa,
Yeah.
3 now. Whoa
Oh,
there.
is one of them my grandma?
Probably.
Oh,
speaking of, if you aren't following it already, knuckleheads.sportspod on Instagram. We
Yep.
do our live show every Monday, and then we usually will be running this probably tomorrow.
Yeah, you want to give the times that we're gonna be.
Oh
being
yes,
here?
we're shooting between 12:30 to 1:30 ish on Mondays.
Ish.
Per usual, we'll always go a little over or a little under.
Or I'm gonna need to not go a little
yeah,
over.
Andy has a job, so. Something big that did happen over the summer that I did want to touch on before we dive right into the NFL. We are just going to be talking a lot of NFL today because it was kickoff weekend.
Of course.
And you can't not talk about the NFL during kickoff weekend.
Of course.
But the big thing I wanted to talk about was NCAA conference realignment.
Ooh.
Definitely a thorn in the side of every college football fan and any college sports fan for that matter. To fill you in a little bit, basically, way back in the dinosaur age, there used to be a pretty strict layout for conferences for the NCAA.
But they've been gerrymandered.
And they have been aggressively gerrymandered. For example, the Big Ten, the division that Michigan is in, and Indiana.
I went to like poke the desk and my finger went through the hole.
I
went to like pound like this like.
Okay, for anyone not, you can't even see it on the live. Basically, there's like this hole in the audio desk
mic wires and
for wires to go through, and Andy just put his finger in it.
Point at the desk like a news director or editor, like I need pictures of Spider-Man like that. But like instead there was just a hole and like my finger just went straight through it.
It's the fact that I wasn't even like looking at what you were doing. I was looking the other way, and you were just like my finger went in it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I keep forgetting this is a podcast and the visual element.
They can't see anything. They cannot see anything. We're gonna have to post a.
But I wanted. I didn't just it. I'm sorry.
Oh right. Back to conference. Basically.
Conference realignment.
Basically, conferences used to be very geographical. Like they used to be like like the SEC, the Southeastern Conference was the Southeastern, and the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, was on the Atlantic Coast.
The Southeastern Conference, still the Southeastern Conference. They expand, by the way.
Except for like Missouri's technically like kind of closer to Mizzou's closer to the Midwest, I think.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be probably the only outlier, but it's still south and east.
It's just
close
rough.
Enough.
The big thing is like there used to be the Big East and the Pac-12 and the Big 12, which are all kind of crumbling. A great indicator of this is
Pac-12 is dead.
The Pac-12 is dead. All teams are leaving the Pac-12. And USC and UCLA have left the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten. The Big Ten is a primarily Midwest conference. So my thing with conference realignment is you're now going to have this football team traveling thousands of miles a season.
Yep.
Like tens of thousands of miles a season just to play, which is whatever. I know it's a money grab. We all know it's a money grab. But what about the smaller sports? And that's where I always end up with. Like the smaller sports, like women's soccer is going to have to travel.
They're screwed.
They play midweek games. They're going to have to go on like a Tuesday afternoon, fly out, play a game Tuesday night, and fly back in the middle of the night. Like
and now that UCLA is going to be in the Big Ten, it's a women's soccer game could be flying from Rutgers all the way to UCLA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Women's soccer.
And like And I think
They obviously don't have the same budget that the football team has that would work all that. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna have to have the budget now. My thing,
know.
I don't know if you heard the Mizzou head football coach had a nice little spiel about it that went viral on social media, which was good. He basically said exactly what I'm saying, which was like, are we thinking about the smaller sports?
Nope.
Are we thinking about the student athlete side of it? Like, are we thinking about the students? Because obviously you're not. If you have somebody flying out on Tuesday night, coming back on a Wednesday at 2 a.m, and they have an 8 a.m. class, like, we all know how busy student athlete schedules already are. And now you're coupling it with the fact that they're going to be after driving back and forth flying back and forth across the nation 2 to 3 times a week. It's just unfathomable.
Yeah.
My thing with that, though, is like the Mizzou football coach, it's a little bit like, yeah, we agree, but also who are you to, like, you are a football coach. Like, I do like that he's putting the spotlight on the smaller sports, but you are also one of the sports that's directly benefiting from this, per se.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Notre Dame potentially Notre Dame football? Why not?
No. Money. Why would you ever want to do that? Do we have comments on the live here?
Yeah, somebody just said, "What's up? What's up?"
What's up?
Why? So actually, I'm really curious about this. Why is Notre Dame football independent? Like, I never really looked into it.
Dude, they have their own TV contract with NBC. Why would you ever want to go and share some of the profits with a conference when you can profit everything yourself?
Oh, so it's just a money thing. It's not like a status thing.
Because they have enough money they're so prominent of an organization, they can be fine and make more money by not being in a conference.
I didn't know until I was like 14 that Notre Dame was in Indiana. I didn't know
where. Where do you think it was?
I have no clue. I did not think it was in Indiana. Doesn't give me Indiana vibes.
South Bend doesn't give you Indiana vibes.
Well, now because I know where South Bend is, but
I guess that's true. You're not an Indiana guy. I keep forgetting this, even though you have a whole Michigan State logo tattooed on your arm now.
Michigan State logo? Whoa! Take a couple steps back. It's a tattoo of the outline of Michigan.
The outline of the state of Michigan.
I would not like to associate with Michigan State, especially given their current head coach.
The state of Michigan.
There we go. Their football team's in ruins, and their university. The more
shout out John Harbaugh for
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, whatever. Sorry.
John Harbaugh's the Ravens coach.
I know. Okay. Shout out Jim Harbaugh for getting suspended though.
Oh, we could touch on that. Basically, I think it's so dumb. It's a self-imposed 4-game ban, which basically means if they really, really didn't want to do it, the NCAA wouldn't make them. But basically, they self-imposed the ban on Jim Harbaugh for buying a recruit a hamburger. And they self-imposed
those $2 Brothers hamburgers. Really doing it.
Literally, and they self-imposed the ban so they wouldn't get fined, and then the whole team came out and were putting up like the 4 logo in their four fingers in their opening game to like rep thinking of you, Jim, and I'm like, what? And then did you see yesterday, Saturday, JJ McCarthy came off the Michigan bus wearing a T-shirt that said free Harbaugh. Like, I don't think anybody gets it, but hey, Michigan State's in much hotter water. We can touch on that, and then
some of them.
Did you not hear about that? Okay, so a little bit of a trigger warning. This is this does deal with sexual assault, but basically their head coach, when he came in, he hired an advocate to speak on sexual assault to the team, and he brought her to the campus 3 times, twice to speak to the team and 1 time to be an honorary captain. Basically, from all appearances, it looked like a great partnership between a head football coach doing the right thing and an advocate for something like this to educate people. Yeah. And she, the advocate, filed with Michigan State's Title IX office, accusing him of a bunch of misconduct, really bad misconduct, and then he completely admitted to it, but was like, "Oh, it was fine." And then what he was doing was with his lawyer, he was trying to push the Title IX investigation until October. And Michigan State suspended him yesterday, as they should. But at the same time, the university knew about this since March. And this is the same.
What is up with Michigan State?
This is the same university that employed Larry Nassar, which is absolutely horrible. I think there needs to be. And after the Nassar scandal, everyone was like, "Oh, there needs to be massive changes on this board and in this university and in this athletic department."
Clearly not enough.
Clearly not enough. Let's just take like a brief. We should put like a music transition. It is football season. NFL is back, and NFL was back with a bang. What happened on Thursday night, Andrew?
What happened on Thursday night?
What happened on Thursday night?
What happened on Thursday night is that Travis Kelce and Chris Jones didn't play for the
oh my gosh. Oh my. Okay, I got
and,
words. I'm doing some stretches. I got some words.
Go ahead. Go.
Here's the deal.
Go.
The Detroit Lions defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in Thursday Night Football to kick off the year, which is phenomenal. It was a close game, 21-20.
Yep.
There were times where I didn't think we were going to win it. There was times where I really thought we were going to win it. Okay?
Yeah.
It was a game, and the Lions won. Second Lions win, everyone goes, oh, Travis Kelce was out. Oh, Chris Jones didn't play.
Yeah.
Oh, this, that, and the third. Whatever.
Yep.
Whatever. Teams have their star players on injured reserve, like Joe Shiesty, on injured reserve all the time.
Joe Burrow played, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Didn't
He only scored 3 fantasy
Oh,
points.
he
though.
played
It
really
was- he
bad.
played
Sorry.
awful,
Who am I
yeah.
thinking about that didn't play?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper
Mark
Kupp didn't
Andrews,
play. Mark Andrews didn't play. Like
Jonathan Taylor.
And honestly, here's the thing. Not only do you have to win games, you have to have a
position
team fit enough to win games. If your team's never fit, that's a different conversation that you need to have about your players. That's why people don't sign players that are injury prone, because they're not going to be in a lot of games.
And speaking of injury prone, RIP J.K. Dobbins' career.
Oh my
dude.
gosh,
That, just feel
that was
terrible.
bad. I felt really bad about that. Ravens running back is out for the season with an ACL tear. Again. That's just
Achilles tear. Achilles.
Oh, Achilles tear.
Yes.
There's just everything in the leg.
Yes.
But back to the Lions. Yeah, we won. Stop making excuses. Let us move on. Like we didn't. Honestly, I told everyone I'd be insufferable if we won that first game of the year. I haven't been that bad. I'm pretty confident in my ability to say like I didn't do that bad. Like I was definitely happy. But like I wasn't mean.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for the Lions. I was actually rooting for the Lions throughout pretty much the entirety of the game. I think Lions MVP of that game clearly has to be Kadarius Toney, though.
That was funny. That was
We
funny.
gotta play football.
He dropped a good amount of passes. It was pretty funny. I sent Andy many a TikTok about this, but
how is he your number 1 wide receiver? How? What are they gonna do?
They need
What are they gonna do?
to make a how long until the deadline? We have a few weeks.
October?
Yeah. They need to make something happen before the deadline, and I think they will. They need to bring Tyreek Hill back because Tyreek Hill went crazy for Miami. But we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Honestly, and with a game like that, it's a primetime game, so we'll talk a little bit more about it. Just happens to be my Lions, but it was good, and I think this bodes well for the Lions this year. I think it's a good win, but I don't think okay, my expectations are pretty high. I will not lie to you.
Lions to the bowl.
Lions to the bowl. Like my expectations are sky high for this team right now, but that also doesn't mean the Chiefs are in the dumpster. Like the Colts beat the Chiefs last year, and we saw how that went. There's so much parity in the NFL that all you can do is focus. Once we hit week 10, then you can be a little bit more pressured with your expectations. But it's week 1, take a beat. I will say Jahmyr Gibbs looked phenomenal.
They didn't play him a whole lot though. It was a debauch show for a while.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell said that said that they limited his snaps on purpose. They just want to get him running up to speed. They want to get him into the move. And also the Lions are big fans of that. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, that back and forth, and then find that ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is just the best man in the world. I love him. I love him so much.
I would just like to say that I was looking up all the NFL games that we're going to go over here in a second, just briefly go through. And I looked up the word Google in Google.
Andrew Newman, it's Monday morning.
I just Googled Google.
You win some, you lose some. All right. So next game on the slate was Bengals-Browns.
Yep.
Wow.
Not
Did you
sure
see
what
that
happened.
coming? I didn't see that.
Did. I know the Bengals usually kind of suck at the beginning of the year, but not that bad.
I know the Browns, despite having a horrible human being as a quarterback, I knew they had a good team, but I didn't think it was going to be 24-3. That's bad.
From what I saw, Deshaun didn't even do a whole lot. It was mostly Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb is honestly, I didn't put him in, and we'll get to it, but I didn't put him in for my offensive player of the year, but he could be a front runner if he does well.
Deshaun was 16 for 29, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So
that's not bad. Nothing to write home about.
But Chubb had 106 yards.
I think the conversation is what happened with those Bengals.
Yeah, T. Higgins recorded no stats.
No stats. Joe Mixon only 56 yards. Jamar Chase I think he only had like 39 receiving yards.
Yeah, T. Higgins was 0 for 0 for 0 yards and 0 touchdowns.
And I mean, the Browns did a lot of work on that defensive line, and that secondary also got a lot of work this offseason. I don't think that the Browns are going to be a bad team. I'm just saying, like,
it's crazy. What's going on with the
Bengals were in the AFC champion. They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bengals were in the AFC championship last year. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because the year before they went to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
yeah.
good.
So a former AFC championship team, like you don't expect that.
And shout out Jamar Chase for only having 39 yards that whole game, which is crazy.
And he said in the post game, we just got beat by some elves.
And shout out Chris Evans for having 1 reception for -1 yards.
Yeah.
That has his stat line the whole day.
Kind of fun. Next up, Ravens.
And shout out Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah, per usual.
What?
But next on the slate was Baltimore Texans or Baltimore Houston.
Baltimore Texans. Yes.
Baltimore
Texans.
But honestly, I'm really upset. Like I don't care that the Ravens won. I care that not Jamar Chase. Oh boy, Lamar Jackson had an absolute sitter of a game. I started him in fantasy, and boy, oh boy, did that not turn out well.
Nope,
not at all. I will say what I did like to see. C.J. Stroud had a good outing, 28 of 44, 242 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So getting into the end zone is going to be a big thing to look out for this team going forward. But that's not bad for a debut.
How did Odell? Did Odell not play?
He didn't play?
Oh wait, yes. Yeah, 37 yards.
Yeah, nothing major.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see anything lights out from Odell through the rest of his career. No offense. Cool guy, but whatever.
So it looks like Zay Flowers is going to be the bell cow for the wide receiver wise for the rest of the year.
And I like that. I think he's a really good he was a really good pickup.
And it looks like Gus Bus is going to be the number
Gus
one.
Bus.
Is going to be the number one option for running back now, as we kind of alluded to earlier with J.K. Dobbins being out for the season.
Unless they do something like before the trade deadline, which I don't think they're planning on Jonathan Taylor.
We will take Lamar.
No, you wouldn't.
And
you already got AR-15. Oh, my gosh. You're horrible.
Lamar.
You're horrible. You are horrible. Honestly, though, the Ravens could be a team that would want it. I mean, they have draft capital, I'm pretty sure.
Who would we take from them though?
Player-wise. You would need draft capital.
We would just get picks.
Yeah, they would just need picks, which honestly, I think we can talk about the Jonathan Taylor situation a little bit after the game slate, but overall, I think they're asking a first round. They're not going to get a first round.
Well, I mean, if we're asking a first round, we actually have to pay him first round money.
Oh,
which probably won't happen.
Jimmy Percocet is not going to do that.
I was walking into the stadium yesterday. I went to the Colts game. Bro had a whole poster on the side of a building of him playing, shredding a guitar. And I'm thinking, man, if I was a billionaire, I could make a giant poster about having a mediocre skill and put it on a city building. Wouldn't that be cool?
He's an interesting cat. Let him do what he wants. He owns an NFL team.
That's true.
I will say this next game makes me very, very happy, not just because an NFC North team lost, but because one of my favorite NFL players won, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Vikings.
Who's your favorite NFL player?
He's one of my favorites.
Baker?
I love Baker Mayfield.
You love Baker?
I've been vocal about this on this show.
I like Baker.
I am a Baker Mayfield guy.
I don't really remember that.
Big Baker Mayfield guy. Okay. Either way, Bucks 20, Vikings 17.
Not something I expected at all.
Baker went 21 of 34 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, a really, really, really good day. He had a really good day, really good outing, and beat the Vikings. I mean, I love watching the Vikings lose. I don't know about you. But, no, big Baker Mayfield guy. Really happy to see him. Really happy he landed somewhere where he could actually when he left Carolina. I mean, honestly, signing for Carolina was a bad idea. You already have a stacked QB room, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then, going to Tampa, getting the chance to start, and then playing your first game like that, you can't not be happy for him. Big win for him.
I'm kidding. I'm happy for Baker. I would have actually probably liked the Vikings to win this game. In my opinion, I like Kirk. I like J. Jeff. I like Alexander Mattinson.
You like Kirk Cousins because of the Netflix documentary, didn't you?
I've seen only one episode so far.
I only watched 2
I love
episodes.
J. Jeff. I just also
Justin
like
Jefferson.
I like Kirk before that. You like that.
You like that.
You like that.
You like that.
You like that.
You like that.
You liked it.
You like that? No, Kirk before was pretty good. But yeah, he's an NFC North team. They got to lose. Yeah, good day outing for the Bucs. Oh, what I was gonna say, Baker Mayfield when he went to the Rams after Carolina.
Yeah.
That game they brought him in. I think it was Thursday Night Football. I think it was Thursday Night Football against the Raiders.
What?
The Baker Mayfield game.
You're talking about the one where he just like popped off? I mean, he was on the Rams.
Yeah, I know. When he went to the Rams for like the one game.
Yeah.
And he finished the 5 games. Oh, it was week 14 against the Raiders.
Radars?
The
Radars.
It was week 14 against the Raiders, and he just slung the ball. And I knew that like him winning, the Rams winning the game worsened the Lions draft capital. I didn't even care. I was just there for him. We'll speed run a couple of these because I don't like they're less notable teams. We'll highlight them in the future. Panthers lost to the Falcons. They need to feed Kyle Pitts more because he's on my fantasy team. But not a bad outing overall. I think something to look at is Bryce Young's game. 20 of 38, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not a bad start, but
not at all.
Nothing crazy. Also, Bijan Robinson getting less carries than Tyler Algier. They're either that
shocking,
surprised me.
I saw that 1 touchdown that oh my God, why am I blanking on his name that you literally just said?
Bijan Robinson.
Thank you. That was crazy. Like his first NFL touchdown where he just like literally just said, "I'm not going down," and just walked into the end zone.
I think he's a front runner for awards. We'll talk about that later. We'll do like a real fast awards run, but
Algier really got more.
He got 15. Well, I mean, he got 15 carries to Bijan's 12. Like nothing crazy, but still.
Bijan get more like receptions at least.
I didn't check this.
I hope.
I didn't check the stats too much.
I'm looking at it right now.
And?
Well, I have no clue.
I don't think he did.
Nope.
You win some, you lose some.
Oh wait, no. He did. He had 20. Yes, he had 6 receptions. Bijan had 6 receptions. Algier had 3. So yes.
Okay, not bad.
So when you add those yards up, Algier still had like a better game overall, like more yardage and stuff, but they didn't throw Bijan.
I think Bijan will work into the season. Cardinals Commanders, I literally could not care less about either of these teams. I will say the Cardinals were winning that game for far too long before the Commanders came back and won it. But
which is bad because the Cardinals are terrible. Hey.
There was what?
You have fire in your gut.
What?
Did you drive to work today?
Yes.
Or did you take the bus?
Oh, I was so confused.
You have fire in your gut.
Oh my God! If you haven't seen it yet,
speech of all time. Yep. You have fired.
I can't even remember their head coach's name right now. I don't even care.
Murr from Impractical Jokers.
It's literally Murr from Impractical. Basically, they did like this, like his first meeting with the team, and he just like said nothing. Comes in quietly and goes, "Did you drive to work today?" Like, raise your hand.
Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, Jonathan Gannon. That's
he looks like Murr from Impractical Jokers. He looks
exactly like Murr from Impractical Jokers. But
Murr now ask him if they have fire in their gut.
He's like, "Do you have fire in your gut?" Like,
I'm not gonna hear anything.
Are you fired up? Like no. It was so weird. It was so weird, and it was pretty bad. And honestly,
sold him into a sense of like comfort, and then just went, "Oh,
yeah, it was pretty bad." If he was my coach, I'd have some adverse opinions. Jags Colts. Andy Newman, soapbox, 3, 2, 1, go. He was in the stadium.
I was. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of exciting, a lot of sad. Wow, that was a rhyme. That was like a poem. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of exciting, a lot of sad.
He's a poet and he didn't know it.
I did know it because I just figured it out.
Either way, what did you like from the performance?
I think Anthony Richardson had some good flashes of stuff that could be good to come, but then we also kind of realized that the rest of our team is kind of garbage. Like, we have a lot of scrubs. Like
less than 3 wins this year, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a stretch, in my opinion.
I mean, is it you guys being bad, or was it the Jags actually being another legit team this year?
The Jags are another legit team. Did you watch the whole game?
I watched parts of the game.
They
looked good.
The Colts had that game for a while.
Yeah, they had it for a good while.
Like, we played solid fundamental football for a long time.
They need to. I know they're like they planned for most of the season like Jonathan Taylor was going to be their starting running back, but they need to stop playing like he's still their running back.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's neither of our running backs are worth the salt, really. we probably do a lot better in that game if Jonathan Taylor's our running back because we probably would have had some sort of offensive production. But Lisa, why is Lisa's looking at us?
Hey, Lisa, what's up?
Hello, Lisa. Is Lisa
You
just
need
giving me a
something?
thumbs up?
Oh, she's just giving us a
Hi,
thumbs
Lisa.
up. What were we talking about? Colts are doing okay.
Colts are fine. Colts could be better. Colts will be bad. Who cares?
Yeah.
Move on. It was a great experience at the stadium, though. Went with my cousin Cade. Got a free T-shirt.
Yeah, free
Yeah.
T-shirts. Hey, wins.
Free T-shirts to win.
Roof closed, right?
Yep.
Come on. How could you have the roof closed on a Sunday like that?
By the way, that play. Have you seen the play where like the run back touchdown strip sack thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was okay. So that whole play was so confusing in the stadium because we all thought it was over, and then Zaire Franklin comes up and just punches the ball out of number 4. I don't even know who number 4 in the Jag. I think he's a rookie. His hands, and then Forrest Buckner grabs it, and goes and like Superman's touchdowns it. But obviously, as you can see, like Lawrence's hand pushes the ball, and it's like an open fist like throw. It's not like an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But 4 wasn't aware, thought it was an incomplete pass, and just kind of stood there. And then Zaire Franklin, because he didn't hear a whistle, just went for it, and it worked out really well. It's called heads-up football right there. Fundamentals. That's
Heads-up
fundamental
football.
heads-up football.
Heads up football. Okay. Either way, anything else you want to say about that Colts performance?
We'll get him next time.
We'll get him
next time.
for the shoe.
Pat McAfee was cool. He was there.
Did you meet him?
No. He was like on the anvil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I met Pat McAfee before he was famous.
I know. You met somebody in their car too, right?
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
His golden car outside of the Westin.
Andy Newman's seen everybody.
Yeah, I know all the movers and shakers of Colts football,
Yeah. Moving on. 49ers Steelers.
as Zuko would say.
Shout out Claire Whitty. I'm so sorry.
That game was bad.
That game was bad for the Steelers. I don't know what
They
happened.
suck.
I really hope.
I called that.
Wait, what's the timestamp right now? 30 minutes ish. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell her to listen. 30 minutes in.
Oh,
She won't listen to the whole thing, but I just wanted to shout her out.
shout out Claire Whitty for your team being bad.
Yeah, shout out for your well, honestly, like, here's the deal. Yes, I think it was a really bad game for the Steelers. I think they have a lot to work out. But also, they were playing a 49ers team that is absolutely stacked. I think not a lot of people are taking into account
Purdy for MVP.
the fact that this 49ers team is a Super Bowl or bust team.
Yep.
Next year, they are like 150 over the cap or something. They are so much over. They owe so many players. Like, next, basically what's happening is all these players are getting guaranteed money next year, and they're going to be, and the 49ers are going to be way over the cap space. So they're going to have to, if they win a Super Bowl, great. If they don't win a Super Bowl, it's really ugly. And no matter what happens, they're going to have to either restructure a lot of deals, they're going to have to give away a lot of guys, they're going to have to trade a lot of guys. It's going to be a really tough job for this GM, or for their GM. I cannot remember what his name is, but in just their entire front office. Like, so they need to win a Super Bowl to make that job a little easier.
John Lynch.
I knew it was somebody Lynch. Titans Saints, I don't care, but I guess the Saints won. It was a really low-scoring game. Broncos lost their first game of the year. I was not expecting that. The Broncos, like,
You weren't expecting the Broncos to lose
to the Raiders.
What?
Sean Payton's in.
They suck.
They don't. Okay, I had a lot more faith in Sean Payton than I guess.
You shouldn't.
I know. I just think that I thought that they would. I thought they would
Still
win.
Russell Wilson.
I know, but I think Russell Wilson's got a
Why
lot.
do I sound so weird?
You sound a little sick. Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
I don't get sick.
It's allergy.
It's allergy.
I can't get my allergy medicine. Because the insurance has my birthday wrong and they won't give me my medicine. Shout out Dad. I think he put my birthday wrong and they're just like, hey, I don't think you exist. And I'm like, oh.
Oh boy. Well,
Yeah.
I hope that gets sorted out, Andrew.
Maybe.
We talked about Andrew's allergies today. I do.
Sorry.
I do this little, like, the Kirkland brand stuff. Total tangent. But I think Kirkland's signature brand is a brand in itself, and I will buy that over most name brand stuff. Love Kirkland's signature.
I'm a big fan of Great Value Oreos.
Great Value Oreos, kind of
Called
good.
Twist and
Hey,
Shout, double stuff.
They just released the Halloween Oreos, and
Spooky.
Spooky Oreos. I'm so excited.
Spookos.
I love, like, those just taste better. Back to football. The Eagles beat the Pats. Honestly, the Pats hung around in that game a lot more than I thought they were going to. Maybe the Eagles aren't. Actually, the Eagles are probably going to be. I think Eagles are the NFC North contender. Next week, we'll get 2 weeks of football under our belts before we make our picks as to who's going where.
Like the Super Bowl?
Yeah, like postseason stuff.
Well, I already got it.
I know who you
It's
think.
Lions Colts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Lions
Yep.
Colts Super
Lions,
Bowl.
Colts,
You hear
Super
it here
Bowl,
first.
Colts win 97-0.
97. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll pick some more legitimate picks next week. Rams beat the Seahawks. I like that. I don't know. I just got a lot of faith in the Rams. Like it's probably the Matthew Stafford thing, but he did good.
He didn't do too bad.
Too bad. 24-38 for 334
Not
yards.
great.
No
Could be better.
touchdowns, but
No touchdowns.
this Kyron Williams cat. Oh my lord.
Hey,
That's
33, 32, 33, 32 trucking? Which one? Hold
52 yards.
on. Hold on. He's a guy who used to play for
Notre Dame.
Yeah, and he had that MVP push for a little bit.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Either way, he scored 2 touchdowns. Pretty good game overall from him. I might be trading for him in fantasy. Either way, I think it's just like Matthew Stafford being there, but I always like to root for the Rams a little. Dolphins beat the Chargers. That was a good game. I will rewatch those highlights. Tua, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I don't know if he could classify as comeback player.
Never mind. That was for Josh Adams,
Okay.
not Kyron Williams.
Thank you for
My bad.
rooting that around. But
Sorry, Eli Poe.
Elijah Poe.
He would probably kick me.
Oh, we should get Eli on here. I don't think he's been on here yet.
All right.
What
happened to Josh Adams? I'm gonna find out.
I don't even know who that is.
Never mind. Continue.
What
I'm sorry.
planet are we on right now?
One of them.
But Tua,
he was on the Eagles.
Tua 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
He was on the Eagles. Sorry.
He was on the Eagles. Josh Adams.
Yep.
Sounds like you're trying to say Josh Allen, and you keep messing
Nope.
it up. We'll get to Josh Allen. Tua Tagovailoa, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I said that 3 times now.
Yep.
Do you think he has a case for comeback player of the year? Like he didn't have a bad season last year, but I think from
he does not.
From a social perspective,
He has absolutely literally no one. There's only one player that's winning comeback player of the year, and he could literally not play the rest of the season. So
who?
DeMar Hamlin. It's a lock, and that's the easiest lock in NFL in human history. Actually,
I guess so.
DeMar Hamlin is the easiest lock for comeback player of the year of all time.
I don't think you're wrong.
I'm not.
I went with like more of a.
It's not going to be though.
I went with like more of an educated pick,
but it's not going to be.
I know.
It's going to be DeMar Hamlin.
I don't think so. Okay.
Yes,
it's
is.
going to be DeMar Hamlin. Okay, you win.
Yes.
Packers beat the Bears. Little NFC North matchup. Anytime
the Bears are an NCAA team.
Anytime an NFC North team wins, I'm happy. Or I'm
loses. You mean
boy.
loses? Where are you at today?
Real distracted today.
I know you are.
Anytime
Sorry,
an NFC North team loses, I'm happy, except
There we
if it's
go.
the Lions. But in this case, I'm split because an NFC North team lost and another one won. I will say,
You never know.
Jordan Love, franchise QB. I'm not a Packers fan, and I have a little bit of a disdain for the Pack teams, but 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. He looked pretty good.
I just want to say shout out to all our fans on the live. We got really pop off live right now. 1 viewer. Going well.
I was gonna say shout out Charlie Cronin. He's a big Packers guy.
Shout
Either
out
way,
Cronin. Shout out Brandon Beeman.
Justin Fields looked terrible. Justin Fields is
Shout
a
out.
terrible quarterback. The Bears suck. Hate the Bears.
I gave the Bears as my most likely to improve this year.
Well,
that was a.
it ain't
probably
sticking after
freezing
1
cold
week.
take.
And then I'm gonna say this with a token of grief in it. Sunday Night Football
Was lame.
was pretty bad.
So bad. Why was it bad?
Shout out Uncle Brian. I'm so sorry.
Why was okay?
Shout out at home, MetLife Stadium. He was there.
I was talking about this yesterday.
He bought tickets. He was there. And
No.
I texted him as the game, like after I wasn't watching the game, but I got home. I went for a run super late last night.
Okay.
Not intentionally. I went for a
Yeah.
run at like 7:30 and I was like 7
No.
miles, I should be done. I was running in darkness. Don't worry, Mom, Dad, I was running on sidewalks and campus, like I wasn't running in the road. That's a bad idea all the way around. But I ran super late and then I got home and I turned the game on and it was like right before halftime and it was 20 or something to 0. And I texted Michael Bryan. I was like, not a great start to the year. And then he sent me a picture of in the stadium, and it was raining too.
No, I was literally talking about this. Imagine you are a Giants fan. It's the first game of the season. All the hope in the world. Last year, you just coming off actually a pretty good year. It's Sunday Night Football. You got a chance to show the entire country what your team is made of at home.
Waiting all week for Sunday night.
Yeah. Everyone's watching. It's the first week. It's so many viewers. So many people are interested. You're playing your arch rival in your home stadium. Then the rain starts coming down. And you're like, man, this is kind of starting to suck. I paid a lot of money for these seats. And then the Cowboys start scoring.
This got really
narrative. Keep scoring. And they keep scoring. And you're sitting there in the pouring rain while your team is getting absolutely embarrassed on national television. Prime time.
Now you know what it's like to be a Colts fan.
Yes. That's how I feel every week.
Okay. And then previewing it, because it's coming up at 8:15 tonight. I will be home from work by then, and I'm very excited.
I'll be in work
This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a very good game. Bills-Jets. Actually, this does have potential to be a really bad game.
It could.
On either side. Either the Bills could blow the Jets out or the Jets could blow the Bills out. Like, it could be a really bad game, but I'm going to hope it's a really good game. 2 AFC East teams. Very exciting stuff. Who do you have?
Give me the Bills.
Give you the Bills?
Give me the Bills.
I say give me the Bills, but like 30-27.
The Bills.
Like 30-27 Bills. Ooh. Like close Bills game. I want a close game. I want a really close game tonight.
You know what? Honestly, it might be a Jets W, though. Because,
it might.
Because Lions just did the same thing. I feel like the Jets have a similar vibe.
Yeah, a little bit. But like last year, like a lot of the Jets' momentum this season is not coming from their performance last year. It's coming from Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah.
And
still, it's still momentum.
Yeah. But that'll be good. That'll be exciting. If they win, I don't know. I think they could be a contender for AFC.
Jets, Lions, Super Bowl.
That's actually the betting odds. I think it's DraftKings. That's like the most accurate betting odds right now are the most common betting odd is Lions, Jets, Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Very exciting stuff.
That'd be an awesome Super Bowl.
All right, it's 1:28. So
we got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. Round out the year.
A little less,
Hey, we could go a little less, a little light episode to start
42,
the year.
Yeah.
We got 42. We're going to speed run this, except we're not totally going to speed run this. We're going to make our picks for the NFL awards at the end of the year.
Ooh.
Let's start with the big one, the one everybody talks about, the MVP. Who do you think it's going to be, Andy?
Give me... Wow. This is... I don't really know. After week 1, I would have just said Mahomes again.
What?
Why? I'm saying before week 1, I would have just said Mahomes again. And that'd probably be just an easy pick. So I don't know.
You want me to go with mine and then you can think about yours?
Sure.
Okay, I actually took some notes. I actually wrote this out. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to be MVP. I think he's one of the most uniquely talented playmakers in the NFL. I think he can do the big play stuff. He can be good as a passer. He's a really good runner when he needs to be, but he's not like a Lamar Jackson type where he's going to choose to run. It's good. It's really good. He can read the defense really well. I think he's great on fourth down. I think his performance last year, if he's going to build off of it, especially with Philadelphia having a nasty defense this year, I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts.
Give me Josh Allen.
Okay. That's a boomer bust pick, though.
Yeah.
I picked a safe pick. You picked a boomer bust pick. You just want to like Josh Allen go crazy.
Yep.
Offensive player of the year. I know we do not have the same one.
Give me... I should have. I didn't really think about this prior to.
Yeah, I like putting you on the spot sometimes.
Offensive Player of the Year. Give me Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler.
Give me Austin Eckler.
What planet are you on?
Oh, sorry, never mind. Give me Tyreek Hill.
Wait, time out. You just went Austin Eckler and then Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Okay, Tyreek Hill did absolutely blow up in week 1.
Give me Tyreek Hill.
If we're going off week 1 stuff, definitely going to be Tyreek Hill. But I think this may be a little dramatic to really put this out there. I think it's going to be Chris Olave. Not just because he's on my fantasy team, but I think Chris Olave. I think he's only a second year, but he had so much good this year, or last year, and he's got Derek Carr thrown into him, who is like a relatively competent quarterback.
Yeah,
like I think it's better than what he had last year. So I think Chris Olave could really have a breakout year and establish himself as a top 5 wide receiver. Defensive Player of the Year. We have the same one. If we don't have the same one, I need to find a new co-host.
Aiden Hutchinson?
Oh my gosh. Micah Parsons, what are we
I don't
doing?
know.
Well, I literally
that's why I was like, I thought you were like,
I literally
trying to say like it has to be Aiden Hutchinson.
No,
Like, what?
I mean Aiden Hutchinson is going to have a good year. And what I will say, but I didn't mention it during the Chiefs Lions talk, he didn't have any sacks, he didn't have many big plays, but what he did is he had a lot of QB pressures and he had a lot of QB hits. If they're going to start double teaming him this year, that's what he can do, and it opens up that side for James Houston, Josh Pascal, like guys to get in there and get those sacks. It's going to be Micah Parsons. I literally wrote in my show notes, like, come on, what are we doing? I will say, it'll be a great competition between Parsons, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa. Like, really, really good. Myles Garrett had 3 sacks yesterday. No, TJ Watt had 3 sacks.
TJ Watt did.
TJ Watt had 3
even
sacks.
With the terrible showing from the Steelers, he was the only person that looked like he was competent at football.
Yep. Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa. Like, it'll be really fun, but I just think he's so integral to his defense. Like, he's the linebacker. He's the defense for Dallas. Like, he runs the show, and he's only
so weird on the. Look at that. It just looks like my head like popping out of the computer.
Maybe move your mic, bro.
Nah.
Either way, Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
There we go. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Zay Flowers?
Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. Okay.
Anthony Richardson.
I was going to say Bijan Robinson.
Anthony Richardson.
I want it to be a rookie quarterback because, usually it is a rookie quarterback, but no. I'm going to go
Richardson.
Bijan Robinson is one of the best talents in Saquon Barkley to come out of the running back position.
They're not using him. So
they're not using him right, but I think they will. Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is a toughie.
Give me Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. Why?
Why not?
Just because he was drafted high?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I think he'll shine on that Texans defense that literally has a bunch of scrubs and then the high first round draft pick. I think it's going to be Christian Gonzalez. He was supposed to go pretty high in the first round of the draft. Lions were looking at him. A lot of teams. He was projected to go top 10, but he fell a little bit. And he put on a show in training camp with the New England Patriots. He looked really good. He had a minor leg injury, but he's doing fine right now. As long as that injury doesn't carry into the season, which I don't think it will, I think he'll be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. I already know your pick. I wanted to go a little creative here, and I said Mekhi Becton just because he's had a lot of doubt on his ability to be a player. He's had a lot of injuries. That knee injury really messed him up last year. He's missed 33 of the last 34 games with knee injury. But when he can play, he can play. He's so big. He's so smart. He's so strong. Coach of the Year. I know my answer.
Robert Saleh.
What? That's if Jets come out and just blow it up.
It's probably going to be Dan Campbell.
It's going to be Dan Campbell. Give me Dan Campbell.
It's one of the two of those.
I would run through a brick wall.
Whoever does better, they win.
A lot of people were saying Sean Payton, but I don't know.
Not after that.
I think the Broncos are going to be good, but he's got to really turn it around.
They lost by a point to Jimmy G and the boys.
That was bad. That was really bad. He lost to Josh McDaniels. Like that, it's bad when you lost to Josh McDaniels, who coached Bronco football for like a year. Either way, that's our picks. Next week we'll get into a little bit of our
picks. Wait, no.
What? Oh yeah, sound off your picks in the comments down below, or tweet us your picks at you. What's our Twitter again? You changed it.
Something.
Oh my gosh,
It's not Twitter. It's X.
We are so unprepared. You cannot call us.
I just walked in here and ripped it. Okay.
Hey, we did pretty well.
I think so. There was maybe a little weird transition there.
We'll put some music in there. We'll put some music in there.
Music will happen.
Okay, UK Sports Pod on Twitter. Knuckleheads.sportspod on Instagram. Make sure you follow us.
Brand unification, not our thing.
Not our thing.
Nope.
You have to look for it.
Figure it out. Not my problem.
Truly,
actually is my problem. Probably should be.
We'll work on it.
Whatever.
This will be the year that
At this point.
Well, you're graduating in May, so this is the year.
We might even change the name of the podcast.
This is the year we got to become qualified. But I don't think we can be qualified until you graduate. I don't like. Are we?
I don't even know.
Like, what the heck are we doing
here? We need to
here?
have a conversation about this.
Like, are we really qualified?
Yeah, I need to have a lot of conversations about a lot of things. You clearly need to. I need to. Everybody needs to have conversations.
Oh. I've missed this, Andrew Newman.
We're back.
Always a pleasure to be back. Thank you for joining us on the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast, Ball State's premier sports podcast.
Hey, I have one question for you. should I have sold those Russell Wilson baseball cards?
Yes, sir, you should have. Every Monday on Instagram Live from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m.-ish. Publishing on Tuesdays. We're going to try to set a hard deadline for that so we can beat the weekend.
No, we're not.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Never going to work.
Thank you all for listening. We are on season 4 now. So those of you who've been here with the beginning, we're now in a long-term committed relationship. And thank you for committing to this relationship. Dad, have a great drive to work, and we'll see you next week.
Hold on. I want to... what are we? Okay.
I just closed that out perfectly.
I know you didn't, because we have to have our thing. What is it? We bet a let's ride. Or
do you want to do that this year?
No.
What do you want to do this year?
Well, before it was see you next week.
Yours was see you next week, and then we started doing Underqualified Knuckleheads Country
Let's Ride.
What was the most memeable thing of this offseason?
Take
the car or take the bus. Get fired up.
No. Yeah, fire in your gut.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Make sure to take the bus.
But more importantly, make sure to take the
bus.
Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.